Now, hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over. Got this title here from the Truth Is channel, which I'll leave in the description for you guys to check out more and even subscribe. Nicki Minaj blames Roc Nation for D'Angelo's death. Huh? Hold on, man. Y'all know me. I like to try to get to the bottom of things. I try to get all the information possible. But this title right here, man, I didn't make no type of connection or nothing like that. We're going to check this out. Appreciate y'all coming over. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
While it did seem that once upon a time Roc Nation was loved and respected, in the last few years, many people in the industry have turned their backs on them, shattering the illusion Jay-Z and Desiree Perez once had of being a positive force in hip-hop. The general public started seeing the cracks in their wholesome image when Tory Lanez started exposing them. He seemed to insinuate that Roc Nation was the true puppet masters behind his arrest. Tory isn't the only person who has been calling out Roc Nation either. Recently, Academics has been outspoken on his issues with Roc Nation, which I recently covered in this video, which you can find the link to in the description, exposing them for being industry bullies who use questionable tactics to eliminate anyone who doesn't follow their agenda. Even the streamer Aiden Ross claims Roc Nation is after him for taking Tory's side. While all of these people have been forced to stand up to Roc Nation, they still tread carefully. Everyone except for Nicki Minaj though, who claims Roc Nation is not only trying to destroy her career, but now she also claims they might somehow be behind the death of soul singer D'Angelo. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. In today's episode, we will be talking about Nicki Minaj exposing Roc Nation. But before we begin, I just wanted to let my Patreon members know that I will be dropping a new Patreon exclusive in the next few days. This exclusive video is about a Mason who got caught trying to meet with someone on the younger side. I wanted to post this video here on YouTube, but last time I posted a video like this on here, I ended up getting a strike for no reason. So if you're one of my members, make sure you're on the lookout for that video. If you're not a member, what are you waiting for? Join the truth movement and help me spread the truth. For $3 a month, not only will you be further supporting the channel, but you would also get access to over 50 exclusive Patreon videos that are not available here on YouTube. If you would like to join, you can find the link in the description or in the comment section. I want to thank you all. Now, let's get right into it. Right now, we are living in some very interesting times. So much is being revealed that it's almost becoming impossible for people to stay asleep. In the past few years alone, Diddy was exposed, Vince McMahon was exposed, Drake was exposed, plus many other industry elites were exposed. But right now, we are seeing Roc Nation in the hot seat. For years, they have tried to hide their evils, but they can't hide any longer because God designed the world so that the truth will always come out, so wickedness can't hide forever. All that is done in the dark is eventually unveiled when it's brought into the light, and that is exactly what's happening with Roc Nation right as we speak. Their sins are coming to the light, and they're being exposed for what they really are. Industry gatekeeping bullies. Whether it be using their legal connections to get people thrown in prison for crimes they did not commit, or using their lawyers to silence media personalities, or even trying to have their own children institutionalized to separate them from their significant others. Or, like in the case of Nicki Minaj, blackballing artists because they refuse to sign to their label. Roc Nation is continuously proving they are the industry bullies everyone is accusing them of being. This is what Nicki Minaj has been saying for the last few months about Roc Nation. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say I have ever agreed with anything Nicki has said or done in the past, but what she is saying about Roc Nation is hard to deny when you realize many others are saying the same thing. For example, Tory Lanez claimed,
and I talked about how it seems like some people are getting a little bit more comfortable talking, you know, because Nicki Minaj, as far as her status, her star status, she's up there at the top. So this is something that you don't expect because, you know, in my mind, they're all like together on this. It's a big brotherhood, sisterhood type cult, whatever you want to call it. But for people to speak out, to go against the grain, that part is shocking. So reading a title like this, blowing my mind.
Roc Nation came after him after he refused to sign with them after his record deal ended. Not long after this, Megan blames Tory for shooting her and Megan is a Roc Nation artist. Roc Nation then does everything in their power to make sure Tory is found guilty. Nicki Minaj claims that refusing to sign with Roc Nation is part of what started her beef with them, claiming that sometime back, they tried to sign her when her contract with Young Money came to an end, but she claims she refused the offer. She also claims that Roc Nation scammed her with the title deal they had. See, when Jay-Z was initially launching Tidal, Nicki was offered an investment opportunity to join the team. She invested money into the company and promoted it to her millions of loyal fans. Sometime after launching Tidal, Jay-Z ended up selling it to Jack Dorsey for around $300 million. Nicki was then paid $1 to $2 million, but she claims that she was owed much more money than that. She then claims that because of this, Roc Nation launched a blackballing campaign against her, doing everything in their power to destroy her career. Back in June 2025, Nicki Minaj publicly blamed Roc Nation for running a smear campaign against her. She claimed that they were shadow banning her and paying the media to spread misinformation about her.
Damn.
Nicki also called out Megan Thee Stallion, mocking her for trying to get a lawsuit dropped against her for an alleged essay she did to her cameraman. What Nicki was referring to was a lawsuit that was filed against Megan back in 2024 by her cameraman Emilio Garcia, who sued her, alleging harassment, a hostile work environment, and unpaid wages stemming from an incident that allegedly occurred back in June 2022. Garcia alleged that Meg started being intimate with another woman in front of him inside of a car. He claimed that Megan then forced him to watch, threatened him about speaking out about it, and ended up firing him and didn't pay him for his services. This led to Garcia suing her, and then Megan tried to get the lawsuit thrown out of court, but the judge refused and allowed the lawsuit to proceed. When the judge rejected Megan's filing to dismiss, Nicki took the opportunity to mock her about it, tweeting in July 2025 about Desiree Perez and Jay-Z failing to stop the lawsuit. Nicki also tweeted out exposing Desiree Perez, the CEO of Roc Nation, for trying to institutionalize her own daughter. I made a video breaking this situation down a few months back. If you haven't seen that video, you'll find the link to it in the description. According to Nicki, the more she called out Roc Nation, the more they attacked her behind the scenes, ruining her career and destroying her reputation. This got so bad that it recently boiled over this month in October, when Nicki took to Twitter to expose Roc Nation once again, this time accusing them of the unthinkable. Nicki went on her Twitter rant where she accused Desiree Perez of begging her to sign a touring deal with Live Nation, which owns part of Roc Nation. But the most disturbing thing she said had to be when she alleged Roc Nation was somehow behind the death of artist D'Angelo. She even went on to claim that she canceled her upcoming album due to Roc Nation. She started her Twitter rant by saying, "Anytime Roc Nation is in the news for something they don't want you to know about, a few things will happen. 1. Will Smith will appear. 2. A famous person is announced dead. 3. Their allies will begin to post and say nasty things about the Queen. And 4. Lace Z will pop up looking dumb." As you can see, this is an alarming allegation.
Bro, like, I literally cannot believe my eyes what I'm reading right now from Nicki Minaj. 10/14/25. She posted this. Like, I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about this. You normally only see this from people who aren't as big of a star. Lace Z.
As she mentioned, when Roc Nation wants to distract the masses, a famous person will be announced dead. Now, the media outlets are reporting that she was referring to D'Angelo, who recently passed away from cancer. If we look at this tweet, Nicki is essentially claiming that Roc Nation is somehow behind his death, referring to his death as being used to sway headlines, basically accusing Roc Nation of sacrificing D'Angelo. This was extremely interesting to me. Knowing that industry sacrifices take place makes it seem like Nicki was trying to accuse Roc Nation of doing this to D'Angelo. This is the reason I wanted to make this video in the first place, because D'Angelo's death was rather suspicious to me. Not because they claim he died of cancer, as people die from cancer all the time, but because of who he was connected to. See, D'Angelo was once in a relationship with another artist who recently died, Angie Stone. Angie Stone died earlier this year in a horrific accident. Now again, I understand people die all the time, but Angie Stone's death was seen as suspicious since day one. She
Very.
died just months after she began calling out Universal Music Group for robbing her of millions of dollars. She claims that after she found out UMG was robbing her, she confronted them and they refused to make it right. She then claims that because of this, UMG started to come after her. In December 2024, just months before she died, she made a video claiming that UMG was behind her contracting a blood infection that almost killed her. She also claimed that she wasn't gonna quit until she got her money from UMG.
The devil was very particular in targeting me. But anyway, I was rushed to the hospital because I wasn't breathing so well. Came to find out I had what was a bacterial blood infection that I had gotten when they stuck me with the needle. It had went into my bloodstream and caused a staph infection of the blood. Now, I didn't have a clue that there was a blood infection until they rushed me into ICU. I went into ICU and I went to use the restroom and I passed out in the restroom. My oxygen went all the way down and rendered me basically unconscious. When I came back to, the nurses began to tell me that I was screaming for Jesus because when I went down, I'm sorry, I didn't know that, I didn't know what was happening. All I know is it was all of a sudden. And I began to praise God and call on his name because I knew biblically that if I was transitioning, I needed to be calling on Jesus. And I needed to be calling him by his name, so I began to scream his name. When they brought me to is when they told me I was lucky to be alive because I was on the floor. And sorry.
Man.
I knew it was an attack. I knew it was a spiritual attack on me. However, I was treated and God healed me. He cleared up. After 2 weeks, solid, they cleared up the blood infection. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, as I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen. They've taken pretty much everything. They've stolen, I won't say stolen, but they have taken all the monies that were due to me. They have basically absorbed in that company. You only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me. Monies that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. So I'm just here to let you know, one way or the other, Universal Music, you're gonna have to give up my coins.
After this video, things didn't seem to go well for Angie Stone, as just a couple of months later, she died in a horrific car accident that many felt was extremely suspicious. Naturally, people blamed the record label for her mysterious accident, as many know that record labels are known for their shady tactics like silencing anyone they have a problem with. So in my opinion, it isn't far-fetched to think a powerful record label would be behind the death of an artist they had an issue with. I mean, look at what they did to Michael.
I'm just wondering how much money did the record label make after she passed away? Shadiness, man. You know, I talk about it all the time, but man, you know, her death, and it seems like the investigation, it just went cold, just went silent, just disappeared. You literally can find nothing else. Nothing else.
Jackson. But how does this connect back to Roc Nation and D'Angelo's death? Like I said earlier, Angie Stone was in a relationship with D'Angelo in the 90s. They even had a son together. It's believed by many that UMG had something to do with Angie's death, and it just so happens that UMG is the same record label that Roc Nation is under. UMG basically owns Roc Nation alongside of Jay-Z and Live Nation. It seems that Nicki is low-key claiming Roc Nation was behind D'Angelo's death. Roc Nation is owned by UMG, the same company who people think was behind Angie Stone's death. This makes me think that what happened to D'Angelo could have been connected to all of this. This wasn't the only thing Nicki exposed. She also tweeted, "There's another man who will pop out, but I won't say his name. In the school of recognizing patterns, the students must not be given all the answers, but instead they must sharpen their critical thinking skills and free their mind of all clutter. Only then will they find it. But they need not search. They need only to be still. There's no race, only peace." Nicki then continued by—
That don't even sound like something she would write. You know? This is really tripping me out, man. Now, hey, guess what? Now we're going to have to keep a close eye on her.
tweeting, "I have evidence that this was given to a business manager who never told me. My lawyers and business managers, old and new, are aware. Let's see if they'll speak up, or if I have to call them out by name. That same business manager stole from me many times. Then, he was accused of killing a woman and leaving her in a hotel room. Not sure of the outcome of that case though. Believe they later said she died of substance abuse after he left the hotel room around 3 a.m. or something like that." Now, what I believe she was referring to by this tweet was the case of Jason Barker, who was the boyfriend of Nicki's former manager, Angela, who was found murdered in 2021. Her boyfriend, Jason Barker, was arrested and charged with her murder. Now, I find it interesting that she brought this up too. I'm wondering if she was referring to Roc Nation somehow being involved in her death too. She then continued her rant by tweeting, "They don't want me to put out music. Me winning makes them feel like they lost. They're right. However, it didn't have to be this way. Lots of people part ways in business. They know how successful my next album is going to be. They tried signing Wayne, Drake, and me, so they keep wanting to take or stop my money simply because narcissists believe what you work hard for belongs to them, fuming because they can't siphon any more energy, money, blessings, love, grace, joy, and peace. No successful tours, just vibes and payola." As you can see, this is the practice that Roc Nation is becoming known for: gatekeeping and dishonest tactics. They want to force artists to sign with them and play their game. If the artists refuse, they come after their career in every way possible. They try to destroy these artists to make them an example of what happens when you refuse them, like they did to Tory Lanez and everyone else they're coming after right now. Nicki then continued her Twitter rant by calling out Desiree Perez, tweeting, "Desiree Perez, you got bigger fish to fry. Conspiracy, false imprisonment, civil rights violation. Oh, Roc Nation, y'all suck. Page 6, US Weekly. Nothing you will say will stop what's to come. Cry harder. I think you're going to jail, Desiree. Casino, nope." This tweet was in reference to a Page 6 article written calling Nicki Minaj broke, claiming she was losing her money over a lawsuit judgment she refused to pay to her former bodyguard. Her bodyguard sued her for assault. He was called to Nicki's dressing room and confronted her over a situation that had took place during a performance, claiming Nicki's husband attacked her. This was Nicki showing how Roc Nation utilizes the media to smear her name, showing the manipulation Roc Nation truly utilizes. She then continues to take shots at Desiree Perez, tweeting, "Hearing Desiree Perez talk about how she was begging for 40 million and was told no, it was just broke nation, how you get so effing broke? Like who in their right effing minds was signed to you? No successful tours, but vibes and bots." This was Nicki Minaj making it known that everyone is starting to figure out Roc Nation's dirty tactics. She confirmed that no artist wants to sign to them because they're robbing their artists. She then ended her rant by saying that she won't be dropping her album anymore, blaming Jay-Z. As you can see, Nicki crashed out on Jay-Z and Desiree Perez, exposing their shady industry tactics and going as far as to suggest they might have something to do with D'Angelo's death. While you may be thinking this is between Nicki and Roc Nation and why should you care, that's not true. Roc Nation is taking advantage of anyone they desire. While it might be Nicki now, in the future, it could be anyone. They are literally suing a small-time blogger for exposing Megan as a liar. Roc Nation is power hungry, and they will stop at nothing to prove they are the gatekeepers. We must all call them out and stand up against this abuse of power. Well, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to thank
again, man, eh, all I'm saying is, when he was talking about how when you speak out, you get blackballed or shadow banned or whatever the case may be. All I'm saying is you just need to pay attention to all the signs because they're right there. This is crazy. It seems to be some type of awakening going on, man. Like I talked about it a long time ago. He's talked about it. The record labels, how they make money off of you when you're gone. You look at the whole 27 Club, and it just look at the people who are at the top. That's all I'm saying. Look at the top, and who do you see? Do y'all think this stuff is hard to believe? That's my question for y'all. Um, I I can say I'm a little shocked and surprised or whatever that Nicki Minaj is saying what she's saying. Because a lot of times, they are a part of it. But I feel like when you start to mess with their money, they want to speak out. And normally, things will happen. So, pay attention. Hey, appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.